finished by constraint, so that would be affecting the successor as well as some predecessor if it is start to finish relationship. So let's see how to apply the constraint. If you go to the activity detail at the bottom of the screen, here these are the types of constraint: as late as possible. When if it is least bothered about this activity, then we can consider this as late as possible when it is not affecting the successor. So these are some of the constraints: finish on, must finish on, finish on after, finish 5 before, mandatory finish, that would be locking this date, mandatory start, even this would be locking that start on, compulsory start on. So these are some of the constraints. So we select here by selecting the desired constraint here. Next we go on to grouping and sorting. Grouping and sorting is the function used for organizing activities by grouping one or more data items like phase, department, responsibility, discipline, dates, etc. You can further organize. By default it will be getting the WS by it would be grouping by WS level. Further, if you would like to organize by hierarchical of view of data by grouping and sorting activities, to organize these activities we go to activate and press this view, group and sort menu. Then we can view this window. Here we can select, if you click on this we get the drop down menu where we can select the field on by which you would like to do the grouping. If we have given the activity codes, like we can here select by civil and we can filter it by civil, we view the WS by only civil for civil activities. And the next one is filtering. A filter temporarily limits the projects or activities that appear on screen according to criteria you establish. I select the filter menu and I am giving condition is where discipline equals 101 civil. So here if I select in the previous screen here the discipline, I would be getting the project by discipline wise, and if I further go to this filter and select discipline equals to civil, I will be getting the activities of only civil discipline. Next let's see this cosmetic part, bars and layouts. Bars and layouts can be customized by changing colors, adding columns, formatting timescales and changing top and bottom view of the activity screen. How to do this? Right click on the Gantt charts and customize. You can see this wizard where we can select, we would like to if you would like to see this on display, then tick this. This is how we can adjust these bar settings. We can even assign the bar labels. To add the columns in the visible Gantt chart, we can select from here and we can drop into these selected options by clicking these arrows. If you would like to remove this, you can click on this left arrow. So this is how we arrange the columns in the schedule view. And next one is time scale. Time scale we can arrange whether we would like to see 2 tiers or 3 tier. So this is how we arrange. Time scale is nothing but the Gantt chart part, time scale, time bar. Next one is PERT analysis. To view the PERT analysis is nothing but the network view of the activities, relationship between activities, like here excavation followed by raft caching, then by column shuttering, then by concreting. So this is how we can view the PERT view. PERT view is nothing but here network view. Next part we enter into resources. Resources include the personnel and equipment that perform work on activities across all projects. Resources are generally reused between activities and our projects. You can create resources by getting into this resource structure, and that supports assignments of resources to activities. Here you can add the resources and there are three resources types by labor and labor type and material type. Next we get into roles. Roles are project personnel job titles or skills such as mechanical engineer, construction engineer, instrument engineer, project manager, services head. So we can give the hierarchy even, and we can assign these roles to the individual activities. We can add this, delete, merge, cut, copy. We can do this by following options. Next we get into expenses. Expenses are differ from the resources. These expenses are typically one-time expenditures for non-reusable items. This is a resource sheet. After assigning resources and expenses to activities, click on the resource usage profile spreadsheet to see the resource usage among the activities, and you can alter here from here itself. So this is how we arrange the resources, and once we have it, we can click on this resource leveling option here. I'll be showing the detailed tutorial in the following videos. This would be the basic level of Primavera tutorial. So I'll be mentioning just this nomenclature. So resource leveling, by using the resource leveling option, we level the resources over the project. Next we get into the baseline. Baseline is nothing but a revision 0 schedule with which you can compare the updated schedule at any point of time in the middle of the project to understand and observe the delay and cost overrun at any time after scheduling the project. Now, how to maintain the schedule? There is an option where we can click on this project and click on maintain schedule. You can maintain the existing perfect signed off schedule as a baseline when you're done with the scheduling, before getting into execution mode and getting into this site level document. So once you sign off the schedule, we assign this signed off schedule as we'll maintaining as a baseline. Once we click maintain this baseline, then we should be assigning the same baseline to the existing project in order to compare whenever necessary. So we can maintain baselines at any point of time, like baseline 0, baseline 1, baseline 2, baseline 3. So whenever you are changing the schedule, we can even modify the baselines. Let's see how to do the monitoring part. Monitoring is nothing but actual tracking of the project progress in terms of schedule, cost. So once we are done with baselining and the project has been kick-started, at some point of time we need to track the progress and we need to update the schedule to see the impact of the delays and ahead. So to update the schedule, we go to tools and click on apply actuals. What this does, this apply actuals, when you click on this apply actuals, the project gets updated automatically. Like if there is an old date which has been passed on, that activity will be considered as completed. So when you are 100% sure that the project is going as per the dates, then when we click this apply actuals, then automatically the older dates gets completed and the rest of the activities will be shown as 0% complete. This would be sometime creating problems. So in order to avoid the discrepancies, you would be doing it manually, applying the actuals. The problem with apply actuals function is that dates which fall behind but the activity is still not progressed as per the plan will be treated as complete. So to avoid this, we do the manual updating activity by activity. So by this we enter the actual start date if it is started, or else we would be mentioning the remaining duration, so that the start date would be picking the current data date as the expected start date, and you can even mention the expected finish date when you are sure about. so that the start date automatically gets adjusted with the expected finish minus remaining duration. And next we go into threshold monitoring and issues. You can create the threshold by selecting a parameter such as start date variance, setting lower and upper values for the threshold, and applying the threshold to a specific work breakdown structure element or an area for your project plan. It is like nothing but like running a formula or a pivot in Excel with defined parameters. Let's see how to do this. We go to project and click on these thresholds. There are by default, there are cost variance, lower threshold. Excuse me. If I select this and run, I will be getting the list of activities falling under this category. This would be useful for having analysis and identifying the real issues. So how to do this? Choose projects, thresholds and click add and select the parameter. You can even change the parameter by selecting this, and by this you can monitor the threshold which you would like to track. And tracking the project. This feature assists you in performing schedule, cost and resource analysis by enabling you to access, display and manipulate project data in variety of formats. Review summarized or live project data at various levels of detail. So by this tracking view we can track the actual status of the project. So this is a sample tracking view. To land here we need to go to enterprise, then go to tracking. This is the view, tracking view. This is the tracking layout basically. So this is what I'm set like resource curve, resource analysis curve. And next one is reporting part. Two reporting tools are available in Primavera to access and report information stored in the database. One is through a report wizard and the other is report editor. Here this is the report wizard where we have the default reports. You select this report and when you run it you get the report automatically. These are standard list of reports. You can select reports and run the report. Reflection project. This is also called as what if analysis. After creating the schedule, we can reflect the schedule. Means reflection is nothing but a copy of a project. Rather than experimenting on the main schedule, spoiling the project schedule, we reflect it so as to experiment, like if I change this date and if I change the put a specific constraint on a specific activity, what will be happening. That's why it will be called as what if analysis. After creating a reflection, you can make changes to it. If desired, you can then merge these selected changes back into the source project, keeping active data in the source project intact. This is mainly required for running a what if case. If you like the change, you can merge, or else leave it as an experimental learning. So how to do this? Right click on a specific project, click on create reflection and make changes. After making changes, if you like the changes and you would like to see the changes in the schedule, then you can merge the reflection to the source project, main project. This is how we can do the what if analysis and merge the schedule. See, when you merge, click on the merge button here, we get this dialog box here, like select the activities and merge. Rather than merging all activities, you can merge the selected activities and click on this merge button, merge changes. Next we go to project utilities. Project utilities are nothing but you can import and export information to and from this database using external files, and then share this information with other Primavera project management modules. Other project management modules include Microsoft Project Event. Export import. These are the types of formats: XER, by default is Primavera format, XML, XLS, MPP, Microsoft formats, MPX is also Microsoft formats. You can export or else import using these formats. So these are the sample screens for exporting and importing. User preferences. To specify your settings and preferences, which include how to display time, unit of hours, date and currency information, you can modify here as per the preference. This is how we do it. User defined fields and global change. User defined means the name indicates that we can create user defined fields which we will populate using a global change. For example, I would like to change some specific field, or else I would like to see my company based unit. So I will be changing the default field. I will be inserting a new column with a text field and mentioning my remarks. And global change. Global change is like a code formula to run a change more than one time in one step. Like if I would like to increase all the durations of all the activities by 5 days, I would be running a global change so that every activity gets changed by this rule. Next we go into admin preferences. This is the tab which facilitate you to change the limits of ID, time periods, earned value settings, data limits. This is nothing but the preferences set by the administrator. Here we can select by start day of week, activity durations, nothing but an options of the administrator who is running the Primavera. This is how we learn the basic tutorial. If you would like to make use of my upcoming videos on Primavera, please do subscribe. Thank you.